It is 10:33. All right, 10:33. We will call to order our Transportation Committee meeting. We have a quorum. This was regularly scheduled for typically November 10th. We did it this week to confuse people about the sea line extension, and also because next week is Veterans Day and the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps, which means I will not be capable of running a meeting. All right. We have everybody confirm the posting, David, we post in accordance with the Brown Act.
Yes.
All right. With that, we'll move. We have two public comments, 3 minutes each. It appears both are for a non-agendized item. Ms. Osborne, would you like to seize the microphone? That's an awfully big book for 3 minutes.
Is it on?
1 second. I'm gonna screen share it so everybody can see.
Start that clock until this is move working. Do I have to press a button?
Have you radically changed position for this meeting?
What?
Radically changed your position for this meeting?
This is Dr. Osborne, Redondo Beach. These remarks have to do with the narrow width of the road in Lawndale. Recall, the width in the narrow part is only 75 feet, although Metro claimed 81 feet initially because they could not make everything fit. All their initial sketches presented at community meetings in August 2022 had this erroneous width. Interestingly, in 2018, their surveyors had correctly measured 75. Metro was called out on that, and so they changed their sketches to 75 feet for the DEIR released in January 2023, but they did not change the detailed drawings in the appendix. Those erroneous drawings still showed 80 or 81 feet, a fact that I presented at numerous Metro construction meetings. No, Metro claimed that wide width of row enabled them to say that they were not taking properties because Metro already owned the row. This talk is how they corrected the drawings in the FER appendix released September 25. These are the drawings I passed out, and they have given this talk to Lawndale and Redondo City Councils. Again, Metro had the width at 81 feet in their DER Appendix A drawings. How about then the width of the road inexplicably jumped from 75 to 81 feet just south of 171st. For the FEIR, they now show the road width at 75 feet the whole way, but they effectively widened the road just 70 south of 171st this time by claiming it is a construction easement on top of it. It's on this drawing. So now they've got their wide row back, only it's not, it's in two pieces. It's the 75 originally, plus all of a sudden a construction easement that brings it back to 81. How much time do I have? Where's the clock? Oh, there's it is. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you can, and the second page is you can see from the drawings that these properties, there's a much longer easement, and you cannot see it from the drawings, but these properties where the easement is actually on top of a steep embankment. The construction easement will cut away at the embankment. I don't know how many of you people are from RPV or anywhere on the peninsula, but none of your people would like to have part of their front yards cut off with all the mudslides going. Okay. Note, in the FEIR package, Metro mentions the 75 foot versus 81 foot issue on page 4157 of this monstrosity. They do not mention their construction easement to fix their width. And these fixes only in the drawing package, which was not released at the libraries. You could only get it online. Okay, I'm done. And the FEIR package should not be approved. There are other dubious maneuvers elsewhere, but I only have 3 seconds. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. Andrew Blackney.
I think he is on the line.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry.
there you go. Andrew,
Give me
go
1
ahead.
sec here.
Yeah, I'll give you
Okay.
a second because Redondo just showed up and they get fired up for the sea line. So.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, we're ready when you are.
I have an additional comment for.
Okay.
All right, you're
Um,
on. Go for it.
Okay. Hi there. My name is Andrew Blackney. I'm a resident of Lawndale. I'm calling on the South Bay Council of Governments to support the Metro Sea Line extension to Torrance for a variety of reasons. First and foremost is the ease of access. This would allow the ease of access for residents of South Bay to get to the greater Los Angeles area. Currently, it's a great slog to go up roads like Hawthorne Boulevard and Artesia to get to the freeway, and this increases traffic and makes overall living in South Bay worse. The extension would allow for these people to get to these areas much more safely and securely than having to risk their lives in a car where they can get in an accident from an overcrowded street trying to get to a freeway. This would also allow for residents of greater Los Angeles to come to the South Bay. I know this because I have many cousins who very much enjoy going to Monkish Brewery in Torrance. Their main common concern is that they worry about getting a DUI, having to come home from there. The extension to Torrance would allow them ease of access to areas like this, and it would give them a reason to explore more areas around there. It would also personally, for me, allow me to have an easy access to LAX instead of having to spend further and further increasing funds on Uber rides to and from LAX. The Metro project has done a great deal to address the concerns of residents, including a sounding board to deal with the noise, a walking path along the row, and also this project is well situated to be funded by Metro, as long as after they have certified the EIR. And this project would likely not be due to any shortfalls in funding, as it's a highly competitive project. Please support this project and ensure that we do not lose the opportunity for the highest quality of transit in the South Bay for a generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blackney. Next, we have Grace Peng, also online. Grace, the floor is yours.
Hi, this is Dr. Grace Peng, representing the League of Women Voters, LA County, and League of Women Voters, Beach Cities. We also sent you a letter co-signed by the presidents of League of Women Voters Torrance area and League of Women Voters Palos Verdes Peninsula. We all unanimously support and urge you to support the CK line extension to Torrance and urge the COG to write a letter to Metro Board in support of certifying the FEIR. Now, as you're all aware, we cannot be put in the state queue for construction funding until we accept and certify the FEIR. So we will not be able to have a train unless we certify the FEIR, and that I cannot stress to you how important it is that we put a united front and say that, yes, we want this train. Now, Torrance is the number 3 largest job center in the county of LA, and LAX El Segundo Hawthorne is number 2. So linking these 2 job centers by train is just going to improve our traffic patterns and give us low carbon transportation, and like 19 minutes between LAX and Old Town Torrance, the Torrance Transit Center. And right now I take the Redondo Beach Station on Marine, and it takes me 12 minutes. So that means in 6 or 7 minutes, I could be in Old Town Torrance enjoying brews at Red Car Brewery, not worry about a DUI. This is just really good for the economy of our region, that we can go to work and we can socialize and not have to drive. The other thing is that by using the right-of-way, we'll be making the aging pipeline safer. We'll be making the freight rail safer with the vibration isolation mats. And also the multi-use path along 180, along the right-of-way will connect Grant with 182nd via the train station. And that's now the Friendship Campus is a regional draw for families with disabled young adults. And Adams Middle School is also a regional school for people with severely disabled children. And a lot of them are wheelchair users. And this would give wheelchair users a way to take the train and then walk to these regional schools.
Thank you, Dr. Peng. I will note, we did not receive your letter.
Unless it was sent earlier in the. Not today.
It was sent October 14th.
Okay, we got, that one was sent.
We have it somewhere?
Yes,
We'll have to get it, we'll get it.
we'll send it out with all the other comments.
Okay, we have one more public comment here. We have Pat Fury from Torrance. First time in front of an elected body, I know.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I
You have to turn it on.
Lieutenant Fury, the term limited.
Your microphone's
form of-
not on.
Microphone on. There
Your
it is.
microphone's not on.
I think it
It
is.
sounded loud right here. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, those guests that are here, those who are listening in virtually, I'm Pat Fury, the term limited former mayor of the city of Torrance. And the reason I'm here is to actually remind everyone, this is a 3-decade project that we're talking about, the C line, K line, Green line extension to Torrance. 3 decades, 30 years. And in fact, I'll bring you back, Mayor Butts, 10 years ago was appointed to represent the South Bay at Metro. Because at that very day, I recall his predecessor stood up before all the elected people who were voting that day and said, the South Bay and Torrance are donors to Metro. We are donors to Metro. We paid more than, in city of Torrance, more than $50 million a year for the last 15 years, putting money in and getting no return on our investment. And it's time that we have the Green line, K line, C line extension into Torrance. And now a lot of people are criticizing the EIR. I actually looked at the EIR and I think it's a beneficial thing. We were fully funded on this when I was in my first term as mayor. It was $1 billion. And it was a good project, but not half as good as it is now. Because of the advocacy of the people from other cities, they've come up with the trenching, with the raising, all of those things that are moving the metro closer to a real transit system so that we can get in the train in Torrance and take the K line either to the airport, we could take it to SoFi, eventually we could take it up to the west side. The previous representative to the South Bay was from Santa Monica. Is it any surprise that the Expo line was finished so quickly? Because we donated all that money that we had in the South Bay to that. Has anybody rode on the Expo line? It's an excellent way to travel. A number of times myself and friends have gone up there and just taken a ride where it's quiet, it's safe, it's fast and convenient. So this is what we're looking for. I just want to remind you that Torrance is fully in support. All the people I represented in the city of Torrance are in support. My council voted to support this fully. And I hope that our Council of Governments will continue the support as the Chamber of Commerce does to get this project finished. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mayor Fury. I'll point out these trains do not have restrooms on them, given the amount of beer that apparently we're gonna be drinking before we ride them. So plan your trip accordingly. We have Robin Ramsey. Is it Ramsey? Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I do not have a prepared speech. I
Oh,
just.
grab the microphone, please. I do not have it prepared here.
Hi, my name is Robin Ramsey. I'm from Lawndale. I don't have a prepared speech. I just want to say that you can have everything that Torrance is requiring if you take it down Hawthorne. It will result with the same. It's a little bit more money, but the revenue that you get from the train ride will offset it. So that's basically what I want to say. So I want to support Metro, but I don't want to support it down the road. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ramsey. Do we have any additional?
I do not have any more.
I think you said two.
I thought that,
Sure, sir. Jump on up and state your name, then we'll grab her in the corner. You would, go ahead.
Now is it working? Yes,
Yes.
okay. Hi, my name is Adam Schwartz. I'm on the board of the Downtown Torrance Business Owners Association, DTA. I also live less than a mile and a half away from here. As Mayor Fury said, this is a 30-plus-year-old project. I turn 30 in 2 months. This project is literally older than I am. I'm coming in here with little bits of gray in my hair. That is all to say, please let's not delay this anymore. This is already way too delayed. We needed this many years ago. The sooner the better. The downtown Torrance businesses are united in support of this. My neighbors, my friends, people my age are all very, very enthusiastic about this, to the point of really taking it for granted. It's hard to get people to show up because they say, yeah, this has been in the works forever. Of course this is going to happen. Well, why is it even taking so long? So I'm really, really encouraging, please let's not encourage any more delays. We just bleed money every time this project gets pushed back. Costs don't go down, they go up very, very quickly. We have some great financial support from our assembly member, Al Maritsucci, other funding areas. We just need to get this done before it becomes more and more horribly expensive. I really appreciate what you guys do here. I really want to make sure that we can just push this forward, make it happen. Whatever gets it to Torrance, I support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartz. We have one additional comment. This is, I'm gonna butcher this because I'm terrible at reading handwriting. The Seaman Derur. Oh, there we go. I should have joined the army. I can read. Brains, just give us crayons and pictures.
You got a commercial driver's license.
Oh, look, ma'am.
If it's green, it should be good.
Give it a shot. Here we go. And our roadies up there.
It's going right green. Christmas.
You do very well.
Good morning. I'm Nasima Darwi. Good morning, everybody. My first time here. And same thing, I didn't have anything prepared. I'm not a politician. I'm just a simple resident of Lawndale, on the road. And everybody's like, we want transportation. We do want transportation, but we want it to be done the right way, please. Hawthorne Boulevard, everybody seems to like to drink beers. Then you can go also to restaurants. If you have it on Hawthorne Boulevard, you can go shopping. You can do many other things than just drinking if you have the train going down Hawthorne Boulevard. This will impact on the road, built on the road will impact a lot of people. And this is very, very dangerous. I'm not sure why everybody's advocating for this. This just doesn't make any sense. Hawthorne makes more sense everywhere in the world. Where I'm from in Paris, you would go on the commercial corridor, not behind people's backyard, with pipelines and a freight train. So I implore you, everybody here, just to make the right decision for everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Darby. Any further public comments? Quick question for you, David. Hermosa had asked to agendize just a broad thumbs up, thumbs down reconsideration on ours. That's on the December
Yes.
piece. So just so everybody knows, December, this would not be us taking a position on which route allocation. This would be a back to basics. Do we even have a recommendation of whether we think this thing is viable? Is that correct restatement, Hermosa, of your
Sure.
agendized item? Very well. Okay, the consent calendar. Does anyone have any polls on the minutes or the transportation report? Seeing none, I have a quick question. The $4.9 billion of state funding for alternative movements. I know we had some presentations for parallel and some alternative shuttle rail and drayage provision pieces. Do we know if they're eligible for that? Should we be making those guys who presented to us aware of that?
Let me look and do a little more digging. I can't answer.
Oh yeah, just curious. I mean, it would be a courtesy piece for us. And then I saw the piece about the major events playbook. I'll be curious during Inglewood's presentation, how that affects them as they are the special event hosts for many of these things. That said, would anyone like to move approval of the consent calendar? Approval. That going on the first, second one from Lomita, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No. Very well. We are now. Woo. I always do the reading. I do my homework. I have it read aloud to me because it's Marina cannot read. All right, we're 15 minutes behind. IWG, no pressure.
I don't think we've actually met since, trying to remember that, or the last meeting, right? We did, yeah, we met.
Oh, yeah, you won't
Yes.
meet because we're
This
a
one's
week off.
early, so we
Yeah.
haven't met since,
Got it,
yeah,
got
we
it.
meet next week.
Look at that, we're right back on schedule. Transit operators, is Dana on the line?
No, but same thing. They meet
Very well.
next Thursday.
Pick it up, huh?
Don,
Put you ahead of schedule. We don't meet till next Thursday.
oh, you're rock and rolling. This is my new favorite agenda. Caltrans has got extra time to get beat up. Sergio, are you ready for your weekly beating?
My monthly, but yes, I'm ready for the monthly meeting.
I thought you scheduled other people.
No. Good morning, COG members. I hope everybody's doing well. I shared with David this morning some October CTC action items that were approved last month. Some big ticket items in the info sharing to David are Olympic projects. I shared the external fact sheets with the team. These two projects are going to be part of the amended 2024 shop. So we've already allocated funding for these projects, so they're going to get started. I also shared the project initiation document. It should give you kind of an overview of the scope of work, cost, and schedule. So just for the team. In other big news, we secured the $700 million needed for the Vincent Thomas Bridge, which at the October CTC, we allocated construction support, construction capital, and right-of-way capital. In addition, I shared with David was the 2026 nominated shop projects. In that file, essentially you just have a list of the type of activity category of the type of work, whether it's a pavement job, drainage and whatnot, post miles and routes. So just for some info for the team to review and peruse, if there's some additional questions to that 2026 shop, we're willing to take some have a one-on-one if needed, and review the projects and maybe how to gauge them from the COG's point of view. But outside of that, that is my report.
Thank you, Sergio. Any questions for Caltrans?
Yes.
Redondo Beach. Beat 'em
Sergio,
up.
you mentioned $700 million acquired for the Vincent Thomas Bridge. Where'd you get that $700 million from?
That's in that allocation from the California Transit piece, that 4.9 billion state allocation, 700 million of that is for them.
Okay, thank you.
I defended Sergio. I want this on the record.
That I appreciate that. I'll remember that.
This is how our codependent behavior continues, Sergio. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Thank you all.
All right, and now only 6 minutes behind schedule. Mayor Butts, are you ready?
Am I ready for what?
It's now the Inglewood Transit Connector Phase 1 project and funding updates and SEP funding update. Ms. Trifoletti, are you going to seize the dive on this grenade?
I mean, I'll do it, but I'm very nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a prepared speech? I don't have a prepared speech, but I do have notes.
What we can get.
One thing I want to thank you guys for the ongoing support for the ITC. It still is, and the Sentinella grade separation. Measure M. Excuse me.
Want us to do a little.
Oh, but now they want to do a deck. Now they're going to do a deck. Sorry.
Well, I think we have a deck we wanted to pull up just to give a status report.
Lisa, there's a microphone.
Sure.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
No.
Okay.
We're going to take
Green.
Okay,
There we go.
sorry. Okay, got it. Just to give a status report on what's happening with the Inglewood Transit Connector. Moving on all fronts, will be ready by the Olympics. Again, reminding you, we have a network of mobility hubs, transit amenities, that will have transit amenities, bus rotary, pickup and drop off, have active conversations with Uber and Lyft and parking. We will, and we are exploring with the county, dedicated bus only lanes along La Brea, which is all in the city of Inglewood, and then through La Brea and Hawthorne, which then goes through the county unincorporated through Lenox. We are looking at also improved commuter bus, I'm going back to the last slide, bus service that would be on every day, not just event day, enhanced intelligent transportation system, taking what they have already to the next level, and then improvements related to the pedestrian and bike and pedicabs, because those are, we want to make sure we avoid conflicts. Finally, I think it's important to know that for our grantors at the state level especially, we are preserving for an automated people mover. So let's just share what we've done today. We have, thank you to the council and to the mayor. They've approved us to start the real estate acquisitions. That's already underway. Again, on the mobility hubs, especially at the ones located right across the street from the downtown Inglewood station. We have completed the draft 8 p.m. preservation plan. So we had the right 8 p.m. envelope. We've done all this technology review as well with working with the bidder that won that. And then we've also done a 5%, we're moving quickly into 10%, obviously then moving into 30 and 60%. We've completed and released an RFP to 4 qualified bidders, contractors working directly with Plenary. And then we've selected our streetscape designers and kicking off design. We actually have our first kickoff meeting today. On the southern end, we have been coordinating with Caltrans and Metro at the lot at the 111th and Hawthorne. And Metro has the responsibility of operating and maintaining that lot. It's Caltrans owners. So we have, again, a scope defined by them, and we're going to be designing and constructing and delivering it back to those partners. And the lot at Prairie Avenue, which is a private owner, we have a pilot for pickup and drop off with the iPark and Go happening this football season. Lastly, we've got with Gannett Fleming Trans Systems, all of our bus lanes are being modeled, costed, looking at different lane configurations, collaborating very closely with the county and county traffic and SD2's office as well, to make sure we have the right kind of program there that would not actually, again, do no harm, do a lot of good. So we're looking at options there. And we, in parallel, have a program called Destination Market Street. We had a separate grant from the state to help tenant and facade improvements for the historic downtown core. Applications are being turned in on a rolling basis. So I just wanted you to know that in a parallel path, we have this downtown revitalization effort led by Mayor's Council. Next slide. This tells you a little bit about the land that we're acquiring. Offers went out last week. And we should be hearing soon. We're trying to Carly the timing of when we hope to actually have when we'd like to take possession.
We hope to have purchase and sale agreements executed by January, which would then give us possession, and we anticipate all tenants to be relocated next summer.
Yeah, and we've done a lot in the terms of tenant relocation, 23 businesses, making sure we can find homes for them to be in the downtown Inglewood area should they choose to be there. Next slide. In terms of just the preservation strategy, again, we spent a lot of effort pursuing this, and I think we've all lived that. We don't need to revisit it, but as part of this exercise, we looked at a number of options and made sure that we were preserving for the right footprint for a people mover at some point in the future. And obviously that's post-Olympics, but we definitely needed to plan for that. It was a requirement of the state to do so. Next slide. On Market Street in Florence, this gives you a snapshot of how we've preserved for it, really done some more work on the bus rotary system, making sure we don't have any queuing in the street, have a above grade parking garage, pick up and drop off for Uber and Lyft, and a bridge coming across the street. And the next slide. We are also looking now with our design team on activating the space. I think Torrance Transit has a wonderful facility. We're looking at how to, to match their in design, but then also looking at activating it so that it is truly, a state-of-the-art mobility hub. Next slide. This shows you about, how we look at the bridge. Again, we coordinated with Metro. We have an easement across the street on the Metro side of the downtown Inglewood Station. So, looking now at getting real bids back to really see, the costing on that. But that engineering has been advanced as well. Next slide. And then making sure we bring in all the right transit amenities. Again, looking at Metro's kit of parts for the LA 28 Olympics. But then, as we're taking this to another level because this is going to be a legacy project to allow them in permanency and goes way beyond the Olympics. This is for all the events coming into Inglewood, and all about that. Next slide. La Brea Kelso at the southern end of Market Street. Again, advancing the design for a mobility hub there. The city already owns this real estate. We think we can easily get 380, 6-level structure. And then trying to understand the timing of that. If that can be accomplished before the Olympics, we'll get bids back and understand the feasibility of that. But also have on the facing Market Street, having a really robust bike and pedicab center. Next slide. And then we're very blessed that the whole network is going to be connected by a streetscape plan. Across the street from the Kia Ford, the city bought land already. That land was going to be for the People Mover second station. And we're going to be, Market in Manchester. Okay, yes, Market in Manchester. This was the area that was going to be preserved for the 8 p.m. Looking at that as well and talking to the landowners that were willing to sell their real estate and looking at, again, some parking opportunities there and just pick up and drop off locations. Next slide. This is the Hawthorne 111th. This is the scope that Metro and Caltrans has requested that we pursue to make this area safer. People are still coming here, even though the airport Metro Connector now has buses picking up there. I did learn that there was a drop in some ridership, actually 20% drop in ridership since they moved there, and maybe that's going to come back. But there's people still parking here. They're just walking now to the venues. So this would be a mobility hub that we've again worked out with Caltrans and Metro. Shade structures, lighting, making it safer. Next slide. Keep going. This is a lot that we talked about that we're exploring a pilot. Wanted to see if we can get them activated this football season. And right now they have a pilot with pedicabs out there right now too. Next slide. Keep going. This is across the street from the Kia Forum. This is land that was acquired already by the city, working to get this all completely paved and operational by FIFA World Cup. This could be used for staging, pick up and drop off, swing space, and we're also having a conversation with Uber Lyft in the long run to see if this is something that would be attractive to them to bring order to the pick up and drop off with Uber and Lyft. Next slide. I think the exciting thing is we've got a streetscape plan. We want to make sure that people are able to walk comfortably down Market Street and down Manchester. You can go to the next slide. You can see, again, this is a streetscape, sidewalk, lighting, art, all of that to make this a downtown revitalized area. And next slide. This shares a little bit about the program to do the tenant and facade improvements. So everyone's working together in concert. Next slide. And then on the bus routing, we've looked at a number of alternatives. The alternatives that we're costing now and looking to see what infrastructure goes into the roads is La Brea from the north lot at the North Mobility Hub at Florence and Market, going down La Brea and going to Arborvitae, which already acts as a bus-only lane. Next slide. We looked at some options down Market Street. I don't think that's going to work. That's conflicts with pedestrian activity that we're trying to achieve. And then finally, it's the segment going down to the C line and the mobility hub at 111th. And we're very cognizant of the program that the county is pursuing right now. And so trying to really model out options, come back to the county, work with county traffic, and then understand how we can, make sure that they can move forward with their Vision Zero program at the same time as making sure we can see how we can have buses go through in an effective manner. Next slide. this is to give you a little bit about the work that's underway, and we're right now getting all the costing. So as we've advanced design, now we're working on getting all the costing. Follow the next slide, please. And just give you again some of the work that Gannett Fleming Trust System is doing to look at the options. Are we on the outer board? Are we on the inner board? Do you need it all the time? With the ITS improvements, maybe you only need it on the egress on event days. And so that's something that we're trying to figure out. And following the schedule, we are working in parallel across all streams to make sure this is completely built and operational by the Olympics. And we appreciate the support of the COG. That's the status right now.
Questions?
Yeah, I just, I appreciate the update. Looks like you're making a lot of progress and certainly appreciate that. With the SB 79 opportunities, if you want to call those, how does that play into the potential planning for this?
That's a very good question, because this plan was done before SB 79 was passed. And I actually am doing the research for the mayor and for city council to understand with bus line, with enhanced quality transit bus lines, what does it mean for the development intensities in and around the area? So we're looking at that. I'm going to do a briefing to the city just so folks understand, what's slated to come.
Yeah, because you hate to, let's say, go down a path and all of a sudden get an influence by SB 79, right?
Yeah, and I think they have a lot of development in the pipeline right now that's planned or programmed or being contemplated. And we have to see what changes with SB 79, if that means anything. But they're also working on their general plan at the same time right now. So they're looking at all the intensities and density around the city.
Okay.
It might make our frequencies of bus service go up if people really are going to move forward on intense development.
Okay, thank you.
Question, we have a comment online. Eli Littman, is your comment on this agenda item?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Eli Littman representing Move LA. I'd like to share our support for this project. We've worked for years to increase mobility hubs throughout the region because they work. And especially with all the work that Inglewood has done so far on affordable housing, you're going to see more people taking public transit than ever before because it's just a more affordable option. And so, I want to show my support for this project and encourage you to move it forward and support funding it because they need us for Inglewood and for the rest of the region and for all the big sporting events we're going to have. We're going to win the World Series again. We're going to win Super Bowl. We're going to have the Olympics. So ensuring that people have good connections and coordinating with your cities, Torrance, with Culver City, with Big Blue, so that they can access it with their buses and metro is going to be really, really critical. And so I encourage, I don't know if there's a vote today on this, or if this is just.
No, Mr. Littman, this would be public comment. Would typically go at the public comment part earlier in the agenda. So we appreciate it. And thank you. This is typically, we would do public comments after the hearing. Okay, very well. Thank you, Mr. Littman. Ms. Owens?
I speak loud, so I can just say from here.
No, we
I
need
think
to
this is
record it.
absolutely necessary.
Need a microphone.
Oh, I just wanted to comment that I think that this is an excellent project. It's absolutely needed. Anyone who's ever been to any of the venues on Prairie Boulevard, how bad it is to just get in and out. I literally at one point just said, forget it, I'm walking home. You can't get Ubers there because everything is so crowded, just gridlock after an event, especially if there are multiple events. This is something we need to do right away. This is something that I support. We should be doing right now, rather than, a train to nowhere. So.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Can I make a staff recommendation? If we are going to take comments on agenda items in between, let's build in open the hearing, close the hearing piece for public hearing. So we know, so we have some syncopation, so we can differentiate between questions and public comments.
Sure.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
ma'am.
the reason this is on the agenda is not only to get an update, but also because we have invested into this project. And we've asked for periodic reports on how much, where our investment is going. But what we don't have is we don't have the numbers. So the first question is, when do we get an anticipated number? We have, listen, David, where are you? 250 million? Something like that, that's in this project.
Yep.
So where is the number of what this is costing? So we know where our money is going. And also, we wanted a report on the SEP funding because we gave the SEP funding with a timeline.
There are benchmarks.
Yeah, and those benchmarks have passed. So if we do not have that answer, we need to do something about it.
So let's share a little bit about, and the mayor, you can talk about the SEP funding, but on the,
It was not supposed to end.
on the, you can see this here. To date, we've worked on, as you guys know, how much we put into the people mover, which you helped us on, obviously. The project feasibility and concept development, the CEQA NEPA for that project, then the CEQA, for the pivot. The procurement, we did a full DBFOM procurement. We have done a lot of, again, the pre-development activities with project controls, getting ready for a people mover, which then we've converted into the phase 1 project as you know it. And we've also purchased right of way, the land across the street from the Kia Forum. That was a $20 million acquisition. So now what we're doing is working on our design and the construction of phase 1. And those RFPs, as I said in my presentation, are literally out to 4 qualified bidders. So we have, programmatic, estimates, which got us to this point, but we should be getting the bids back in short order. We have our cost estimates on our land acquisition. And again, I shared with you guys that offers have been sent out last week. Busing infrastructure, we're making sure we have the right busing plan, and we're getting cost estimates, not just on the busing infrastructure, but on the O&M to run those buses at a frequency that's actually going to make a difference to the experience that you're talking about. So hopefully in the next, month and a half, by the first of the year, we should have a real breakdown going past the programmatic estimates that we've been holding with the bids back in to give you actual factual estimates.
Mr. Chair, excuse me.
Robots.
I assume the executive director is asking on your behalf that question about the funding, is that right?
I think the question is just the funding moves were laid against a series of stage gates. So that would be.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. It's obvious we have an ongoing project of immense implications and immense dollar implications to benefit the South Bay. The reality is the Measure M Sub-Regional Equity Fund is not available till 2043 through 2057. There's over $1 billion available in that time period. And what is this, 250 million?
Well, there's 250 million, which is the Measure R,
Yeah.
and then the Measure M, which was that sub-regional equity fund, which they helped us with the backstop,
Yeah.
was 108.
So it's 108. And so I don't understand this sense of urgency to say that we need to know exactly what you're going to use that backstop for when we have a project that's evolving. The reality is that, as time goes by, costs are inflated. And I think this is a de minimis amount of money for funds that won't be available for 2043 to 2057. And I just don't understand why we keep getting pressed on, well, what are you going to use it for? Because the project's evolving. We could at least wait until after the Olympics to consider the issue. And that's my statement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Redondo.
So I want to I definitely support this project, and I want to applaud Inglewood because they didn't take their soccer ball and go home after they got rejected for the big ITC monies, but came back with a project that could serve in the interim until they get the big ITC monies. And I'll just say, I am a heavy user of Metro and getting to SoFi. I've got season tickets to the Dodgers. Last Thursday night, not last Thursday night, the Thursday night before it, instead of coming to the directors meeting, went to the Thursday night football and took the Metro K line. Well, took BCT to the Metro K line in Redondo, took the Metro K line up to the LAX Transit Center, and then took the shuttle that Metro's running to SoFi. That trip took just under an hour from Artesia Boulevard. Amazing. And then there's the downfall is when you get back to Redondo Beach, the BCT stops running for an evening game. With that said, I posted it on social media and it's got, 10,000 views, probably more views than anything that I've posted before. I put it, I'm gonna try to put it up on the city website. And doing that with our transit folks, we've realized that these shuttle rides are not available except for NFL games. And then, I think Clipper games as well. I thought it.
TC?
From LAX, yeah. No, that's right.
Just the NFL game.
Okay.
And
so
not, yeah.
I would encourage, that's an easy way because Arbor Vitae is pretty quick from LAX Metro to SoFi. I think it took 23 minutes or 25 minutes when I first got to the stop. So I would encourage, you all to urge Metro to get more shuttles for all the events that occur there, because that'll be the absolute best way for anybody from the Southway to get up to SoFi Stadium. So just want to throw in my 2 cents on that.
Charger season. If I may
Yeah, Chargers. So sorry, Charger season.
If I respond, Metro has said to us, when I asked that direct question about whether or not that service will be for others, they say that those events must contact them and ask for that service, and then they can work it out.
I just make one comment. I think this is imperative for the Olympics, right? I mean, getting and positioning ourselves, you look at the sheer volume of buses that are going to be needed across the county for the events. I think it's imperative, right? So I appreciate all your efforts in bringing this thing home.
Thank you, my friend.
Anything else for Inglewood? Yes, Hermosa.
I appreciate the update. I think it's important that we do get periodic updates. The last one was in May, so I don't think there was anything in terms of having a situational update as to where we were with the project and how much money we've spent and how much more are we gonna spend. Because as we know, costs are going up. And this is one of 3 projects that Inglewood is considering. So I think it's important that we have an understanding of where we are and where we're going. I know the last time we talked about coordination with Hawthorne next door.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
going?
We've actually met with the county supervisor's office and the county traffic. And what we want to do is we're I think on the 7th, which is this Friday. This week, we're gonna get all the modeling of the different options, and then I'm gonna go back to the Hawthorne as well and share with them the modeling results of the different options. And we will continue our coordination with Hawthorne, as well as all the meeting operators.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And you mentioned real estate acquisition. How many properties was that? How many total do you need for this to move forward?
Well, there's 8 at the mobility hub at the Florence and Market Street. And then there's 1 that we're pursuing, which is at Hatton Boot Store at the corner of Market and Manchester. Again, we need the 8 at that 1 lot right across the street from the downtown Inglewood station, and those were the offers are out. And we're hoping to have a friendly transaction with the Market in Manchester.
And you mentioned 23 during
23 businesses.
Is that total?
23 businesses that need to be relocated, and we're working with them with our monument
Is
relocation.
that progressing favorably? Are they all in agreement and where are they going? And
We have, again, some that are really, really proactive, allowing us to help them, go in and do, appraisals of their underlying infrastructure. There's others that are less ready and want us to work through legal. So we have a range of folks.
I know you mentioned the pedicabs and the bike lanes, love that.
Yeah.
Love the mobility hubs and you mentioned SB 79, because one of the discussions we had was, will a mobility hub, could that be considered a mass transit center that would trigger SB 79? So as you're looking. forward-
That's the legal work that we're doing right now. I have a sneaky feeling it probably will.
Yeah.
And that's the legal work we're doing, running down for the mayor to have.
And then these pedicab and bike, the bike lanes that you're looking at, those gonna be protected bike lanes? Or how?
Right now, they're not necessarily protected bike lanes. They're not, but we're looking to see how we can enhance the protection. They actually had believe this coming week, they have a Transportation Commission hearing on pedicab routes. And honestly, while they have permitted pedicab routes, I think the mayor understands, it's all about how, things are enforced as well. So, we're looking all of enforcement enhancement across the board. Enforcement for parking, enforcement for pedicabs and bikes.
And the bigger issue is that you can't put pedicab and bike lanes on streets over a certain mile per hour.
35 miles an
No,
hour.
that's why I was asking about
Yeah,
protected bike lanes. So if you're gonna,
And so to be direct with you, Prairie and Manchester are 35-mile-per-hour zones. I don't see how we're gonna do that without barriers. And then what do you do with the barriers when there's no way there?
well, that's why I asked the question.
I'm saying you're asking a good question.
Right, so that's
And
why I
I'm
asked.
being directly honest with you.
And I'm being directly and ask, so we're not gonna have protected bike lanes for these mobility centers that are gonna have e-bikes and regular bikes.
Right now, some of the bike lanes, and we're looking at it with the Office of Public Works, we're looking at them being off different routes where the buses would be. So buses and cars, we understand their main path of travel, and then there's other routes throughout the city that are like on, honestly, they're on residential streets. Looking at those to see that those could be, really the focus for pedicabs and for bikes. And
Grab
taking
Wally
it
to the
kind of,
local travel network. That's what we did
Yeah.
to get our bikes up for 45 zones. Just move the signage.
yep.
It's even got a turtle on it. It's very attractive. Nothing says champion like a turtle.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the.
You.
Yeah,
Dave,
there's
you
a
got
question in the chat from Connie Turner with Edison. How and who is working with the utilities such as SCE regarding their facility impacts?
So we completed a maintenance of service study, Connie, with your team at SCE a few years ago based on the APM alignment, and we are now reevaluating it. We do not think we'll have the same sort of impacts with the mobility hub configuration, but as soon as we have advanced design a little further, our team will come back and talk to you.
Yeah, just give us time because as you know, utilities take time to move anything. So just don't wait till the last minute to let us know what the impacts are going to be, please.
No relocations are required for SCE based on phase one.
Last minute is anything less than 37 months. Any further questions? All right, just a couple from here. One, because we took board action whenever, a year ago, that had these updates just because we're putting future funding at risk. These are not to interrogate the thing and make it the crucible. It's just that we can see because it's future funding at risk. And it was part of our broader program to make sure we didn't end up with things like the internal left turn lane that we had like $17 million in 9 years in and had not acquired the gas station. So that's the reasoning behind these check-ins, because it's future funding at risk for us. I have a couple questions. I know we keep saying Olympics. We've got World Cup, we've got Super Bowls coming up. Is there any prospect that we should be taking any action in support of getting bus stuff going sooner? Because you're gonna have populations coming in that love mass transit and will probably be jumping on buses and all manner of things.
It becomes, excuse me. It becomes an issue of how fast we can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we have to build a transit plaza at the north end of the venues, and then a transit plaza posed near the 105 in Prairie. And so it's gonna, the buses, that's just an acquisition. The issue is the construction of the structures and the transit plazas.
Sorry, could you just clarify what you mean by future funding at risk?
Oh, I mean, whatever you're putting in, we have a pool of money that we spend on things that take a long time to do, right? So we have money that was put in, say, the backstop, that was just backstop money, not necessarily delineated for capital or O&M. It was just backstop to allow us to qualify for a grant. So it's funding that we would otherwise commit to an eternal turn lane that we put to this. So just, this is a matter of just checking in on those things. And not a matter of putting you in a hot box and saying, okay, tell me about, you know, the acquisition of this light pole and this thing. You know, we're not here to be project managers, but we do have funding attached. So if there is something that spills, like, you know, a green line going on for 30 years, that's something that we have an interest in.
We don't intend on doing
No,
that.
I would expect not. Things that they wouldn't tend to happen faster than 30 years.
We're a little faster than that. I should do it during my term.
Careful, Zane's gonna wake up over there and be like, oh, I'll show you. Is there any coordination that with the venues? Do they have any, should we expect any pushback or things like that on venue piece?
Here, Lisa.
Go ahead. On the venue side, we're working to serve them. And one of the things we heard last time loudly and clearly was taking capacity away from the lanes on Prairie. We're not looking at putting a bus-only lane on Prairie. That's why we ended up really focusing on connecting our mobility hubs with, you know, again, we have to still work through this Hawthorne, Lennox issue. But putting them on Prairie and going down Arborvitae where there already is a bus-only lane on Arborvitae. So that.
Let me interject. We're not working to serve the venues. We're working to serve public transportation and convenience for people that are visitors and for our residents. And so when it comes to the venues, if you're not doing things that are going to cause construction and impede ingress and egress to their venues, if you're going to make the fan experience better, then you by definition are helping them. Okay, but our whole purpose in doing this is to serve the public and to serve the residents.
Sure. Any feedback on how the pilot program's going now? I didn't realize that thing was active. Would that stop right at Prairie, right when you get up to 105?
That's actually a pedicab
Yeah.
pilot right now. It's actually going well for the pedicab folks. And we're trying to get the iPark and Go program to run a pilot for the last couple of games at that site as well. And we want to test how pedicabs and buses are collaborating and co-locating. So that the bus part hasn't started yet.
There's just, things are happening so quickly in the world of transportation that I mean, it's just sort of the way the technology sort of changes it. I would suspect that as we see, you know, sort of unmanned transpo, I wonder if those prohibitions on going alongside pedicabs at 35, maybe goes to 45 if you've got a robot driving it. Okay, any further questions? This is a receive and file. I mean, there's already a next update due to the
We
from the.
would need to do an action to formally extend the deadline on the SEP fund allocation. It expired the end of October. We can bring that next month.
The recommendation to the board.
Or we can bring it directly to the board without a transportation committee recommendation.
Yeah, the board asked for an understanding of what's happening to that money by the end of October. So we have to do something to respond to that.
If you all are okay with us, just bring it directly to the board.
I think we have to because we don't have a decision point agendized, right? Then we have to refer to the board? It just says, it's just an update.
Or it's to wait until next month and then
No,
you know,
that
go
will
to the steering committee.
No, that will be way off. We'll be way off. Let's bring it directly to the board. Does anybody object to bring this directly to the board? Prominus Dominus?
And what are you bringing to the board?
So they can receive this update, but in their agenda item, it should say that they should have a next movement to set the next update to whatever, a year from now or whatever.
Okay. Do you want the presentation at the board or do you want just the slides to be in the packet?
I've put the slides in the packet.
Slide and package and receive and file with a next update.
You might want it to come back in 6 months just because things are happening with other events.
Why do we want to come back in 6 months?
To see how the progress and how you're doing and I mean, I think the community is interested in it.
That's not an agendized action on this, so we can put that in for the board.
Right.
The board can make that decision. We'll put on the board can make a decision about when they would like their next update to be. But that's not an action we will be taking.
we believe that we will have solid pricing at 60% of design, which we hope will happen next summer. So to be able to have a more clear conversation around the trajectory of the project and budget and schedule, I think doing it a year from now will allow us to be able to come back with more substantive information than 6 months from now.
So at the
She
end
said
of
that
the
so much
question,
more nicely than I would have. She did do that. Okay, this is a huge project. And every 6 months, we're not going to have more clarity. I think at the least it should be a year, probably should be 18 months. But every 6 months makes some sense to me.
I would offer up, we want you to come back when you have something meaningful to share, right? I mean, let's not do a dog and pony show just to do one. But when you're in a position to share something meaningful, we want to hear it.
I want to move to your city. You make so much sense. My goodness.
So anyway, so you mentioned, let's say next August as an example, right? I mean, maybe we say ish, right? I mean, so we suggest to the board, they come back next August, late summer, and we'll see where we're at. And if we need to punt it a month or two, so be it,
Thank you.
would be my
So the agenda
suggestion.
item for the board, they will ask to request an update, and we can give them a suggestion of, we recommend you do it at some 6-month interval, whether it's the end of the next fiscal year or event driven, a little squishy for me. But they should have a recommendation for when the next update will be. Or they should have a decision about when the next update will be. And I will be there so that I can suggest something to them. Oh, I'm thrilled. All right. Any motion to receive and file? We all receive and file? Consensus?
Yeah.
Okay, no one opposes the reception and filing? Excellent. All right. Thank you, Mayor Butts. Thank you, Ms. Tripoletti. Thank you, Carly. All right, we're on to the 3-month look ahead. Attachment C. Your packet, first in your heart.
Let's see, have the sea line discussion next month.
That's for December.
Yeah, open on the Inglewood. And I'm trying to get somebody from LA 28, hope maybe for January, to give everybody an update on the mobility. All of the mobility stuff related to the Olympics.
So that would be Metro or LA 28? Because
LA.
this singular piece of point of confusion is every time we ask for who owns this, the LA 28, they say, I run shot puts.
I'm trying to coordinate,
Shot puts, I don't run security.
trying to coordinate with the person that is a transportation lead for LA 28, who should have a decent understanding of all of the different components. Otherwise, we have to get individual updates from one from Metro on one piece.
I mean,
one
welcome
from
to my world.
Caltrans, one from LA DOT. So if we want all just an update of presentation, a meeting of presentations, we can get a series of speakers. I'm trying to.
If this person has a good answer, I'd be thrilled.
If not, you're putting somebody in the next.
I mean, look, it's like that scene in Apocalypse Now when the bridge is blowing up, it says who's in charge? The guy says, you are, man. I mean, that's, okay, so we're gonna get them for January. Anything for February? Not yet.
Are there any things you want to see?
I mean, the major events piece from the playbook at Metro, if that's gonna involve things that we need to allocate and plan for. I mean, the World Cup's a big thing. They're gonna have what, 8 games, Mr. Mayor? 8 games here. We don't know who's gonna be playing, so. There'll be a bunch of people who want self-driving cars or a bunch of people who are gonna wanna march down the street banging cowbells. We don't know.
And just before that, the NBA All-Star Weekend, be here in February.
No, they're all gonna stay on El Segundo. It'll be fine. I know how to get them.
Which venue is that?
That's gonna be into it though.
Into it?
Did you want to know anything about the progress of Vincent Thomas Bridge or any of the other projects that are happening around this?
I would love to hear about what the recommended alternatives are when they close that bridge. Where are they gonna send the traffic?
Well, I think they're already planning on closing it, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
they are.
18 months complete
Right,
closure.
but then what are the shortcuts? Are you gonna send people down Anaheim between the 710 and the 110? Are you gonna tell them to get up onto the 405? I'd be interested to hear.
This is south of the mall. I don't even know where this is. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This El Segundo joke. Just making fun of myself. No, but should we get that in for February? Or do you need it sooner? Or want it sooner?
No, I don't know when the bridge is closing.
I don't
They keep
know. That's the thing. We don't know
putting
the
it
match numbers.
I believe it's the end of next year.
End of next year?
26. Yeah. Fall, I
So
think.
do they have, are they gonna be putting up detour signage, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Do we want
We
that
can have-
plan?
Let's find out. what
Let's find
they're-
out.
If they
Yeah.
have it, and as Bill said, we can get it back if it's timely right now.
Yeah.
But it just seems that's might be a project. Are there any other projects?
We'll call the longshoremen, they'll know.
No, they take surface streets to get to work anyhow.
They take helicopters.
We'd love to bring you, interesting information.
Yeah, let's get the Vincent Thomas Bridge. Let's try and see the slate that for February. Is there any other major project in our thing that we haven't touched?
We'll have our Measure R highway program update in February for action. And then Measure M will come to you all in April.
And what about a lamp update, the landside mobility around the airport? They're gonna be reconfiguring all those streets in there. Can we get an update on that and a time frame?
Because they've gone, that plan has, the 96th Street loop is back, the 2.5 mile loop is back. Terminal 0 and 9 are gone.
Oh, really?
We're gone. Terminal 9 is definitely gone. The United Terminal's gone. So that'll affect the train routing. The train is now not gonna open until December of 26 right now.
Really?
So I will.
But they were also talking about changing the access on land side so that you're coming down Sepulveda, you get onto a special
You get the
loop.
big loop at 96, it's a 2.5 mile loop. So that, the Century turn will disappear. Yeah, that'd be interesting to get Ackerman over there to give that presentation.
Mr. Chair, you mentioned the end of December 26th.
That's right.
Is that the People Mover that was
Yeah.
originally slated to open in January, then
That's right, January, then later on, and now probably not to the end of 26.
post World Cup?
Because,
Testing ground.
oh, government.
No, because of magic.
Oh.
So,
Maybe it'll be sooner though. If you spend it December 26th, you do it sooner, then you get to be a hero.
and we had Waymo at the board meeting.
Well, just got a note from Waymo.
Automated, is automated vehicles or anything, something you want to discuss here? I don't know what we should discuss, but
Check my Waymo email.
I'm just looking for things that would help us if we brought to you things that would be interesting to you.
When's Metro approving the draft, or when's that coming, when's the C line coming, EIR coming back to Metro?
They don't have a date.
They don't have a date yet.
Actually, what was the Waymo thing about?
Oh, Waymo came to our board meeting and they don't have a plan. They're inching towards the South Bay, but they're not here yet. So I don't know if there's anything that you want to.
I don't know that-
Competitors are.
Yeah, the last we heard from them is that they would not be looking before January, south of the airport.
So.
And they're gonna go, essentially continue with what they expand their territory. It's not gonna be a leap. It's gonna be just a.
I'm
Those are expensive cars.
It's also the charging stations. They gotta have places to return them.
Only there was a city with a huge bunch of lots not located next to residences. Only I knew of one. They could create $2 to $3 million of electrical UUT taxes from all the charging.
They actually,
Right by the airport.
that came up and
perfect.
Hawthorne said, we think we have a parking facility. Will you convert it?
I've already got it built. Okay, so do we have a general plan? We got Measure R, Measure M in February. We're gonna try and get the Vincent Thomas Bridge piece. We're gonna ask the airport if they can come in December, January, maybe February, and get an update from them. Those are our three big wicked items.
Thank you. That helped us.
Okay. Any announcements? What have I missed? All right, that's it. I'll take a motion to adjourn. All right, I'm seconded. Hey, Chris, love it. Sir.